Hey, IDS 302. Welcome to Module 4 Video 2. It is Thursday, it's July 22nd, and it's about, what is it, 1:30, 1:37. Um, okay, so first of all, did you all read that announcement I put out there in my panic voice? Sorry, I need this. I don't know if that's better or not. Got a plant coming out of my head. Um, yeah, I really destroyed that one. I don't know. I had to chop off 3 stalks. I don't even know if it's going to make it, hopefully, because otherwise I got this one then, and then this one right here. I like this one works too, but I do not have a green thumb. All right, off topic. Okay, sorry about that. Let's talk about my notice. Uh, I thought I changed samples for some reason. I thought I had a really great sample, and I didn't look at it. What you And so a lot of those entries said this journal, this journal, this journal, this essay, this source, this, it's article. They're all articles. Every single one should be an article. So I started getting on students' cases as I was grading. I said, I am so wrong here. So please remember that, especially in step 3, the annotated bibliography has to be this article, this article. I don't care if it's repetition. Every single one of them can start with this article. But you're not reviewing the journal. You're not annotating the journal. You're not, the journal is the entire magazine, whatever. You're just doing an article. Okay. It's kind of like you're not describing someone's YouTube channel. You're describing one video. Hey, is that more appropriate for 21st century people? Um, so please, please, please. Also, in my announcements, in my comments, I've been noticing that my grammar and spelling suck very often. And I don't know if I'm typing too fast, I'm not reviewing it. Totally my fault. I'm doing way too casual. I look at, like the announcement I sent out, I changed something and I forgot to get rid of something else. So I apologize. I apologize. I'm going against all my rules. I never want you to apologize to me unless you had come over here and beat me up. Then you can apologize later because, yes, you hurt me. But I don't want to hurt your chances of a grade. So that's why I'm apologizing. All right. But other than that, you're not hurting me. Okay. Long quotes. Hey, there's another mistake I made. Woohoo. Long quotes are not 30 plus words, they're 40 plus words. So I will try to review the scores in your step 1 and step 2. But if you see that I dinged you for a long quote formatting, let me know and I'll reverse those points. Let me know and I'll reverse the points if I dinged you for a long quote that was less than 40 words, okay? That's going to help you out. And I apologize, but avoid long quotes. Avoid them. Your papers are too short for long quotes of 30 or 40 words. Learn to paraphrase or learn to chop out only the best part of that quote. Why am I yawning again? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Uh, so, all right. And then don't change like one word of a quote and then not put it in quote marks. I'm seeing some Turnitin scores that are questionable. And I always look at the Turnitin score. And if all the highlighted parts are in fact quote marks, I'm like, that's good. But if I'm getting a lot of highlighted from other sources and you're not using quote marks, you might be citing it, but you're taking the whole quote and changing like one word. That's not your work then. That's their work. And, in some cases, I'm going to give the paper a 0, and you need to address that and resubmit it before I score you. You know what the university's policy is. You do know what it is for plagiarism. So, like I said, be really careful about that. In fact, you should be able to see your Turnitin score. None of these papers should really be over 15, 20%. If they're over that, you better have all of it in quotes, kind of. And even then, stop relying on too much on other people's quotes and write the paper yourself. Easter egg number 1 is check my Turnitin score. Turnitin is one word. Check my Turnitin score. I want you to do that before you turn, no, after you turn it in to see if it's kind of questionable. Okay, so now I want you to remember to focus on this overarching question. What are some of the opinions, perceptions, and experiences regarding blank revealed in a survey of random adults? So as you look at your topic, again, for example, climate change, okay? You don't want to start directing all your annotated bibliography, your material towards scientific discoveries over the Arctic or what's going on in melting ice sheets and things like that, because it's not going to resonate too much with random adults, right? But there are issues. Look at the fires going on up in the north now. Look at the actual climate changing and how it implicates and affects all of us, especially in Arizona. I mean, I kind of moved north. Climate is changing, and there are studies that show weather patterns that show chunks of not just one day's weather, but chunks of seasonal differences. So I want you to concentrate on things that could resonate and would resonate with random adults, because that's what your survey is going to be directed to. So you're not going to ask random adults, how do you feel about that major ice sheet breaking off the size of Manhattan or something like that? Are you concerned? And sorry, I'm not taking that. I don't know what that is. So keep it directed in your mind. That overarching question, you're getting the data from people. Okay. Uh, Soylent Green is people. Nobody knows what I'm talking about, do you? Okay. Okay. Another remember. Remember that disciplines are not what? They're not occupations or anything else. They're disciplines. They're individual silos, boxes of knowledge and theories, have their own theories and methods and ideas and verbiage and that. They're not occupations. You're not going to be looking at gun rights through politicians, NRAs, civic leaders. Those aren't disciplines. Even architecture, not a I mean, an architect is not a discipline, right? Architecture is. A priest is not a discipline. Religious studies is, or theology. Okay? Know those disciplines. Do not slide off into the occupation. Bring in occupations if you feel it's necessary, but make sure that's introduced as a discipline first and primarily. Okay? Remember to demonstrate academic rigor. Well, this is a tough one for some folks, and it really isn't. I mean, it's not tough. It's just that it's kind of like interdisciplinary studies. What does that look like? What does academic rigor look like? Well, in this case, it's going to look like, a good solid variety of sources for step 3. It's going to look like you're putting in the effort to analyze, because you've watched that video in module 3 about how to create an annotated bibliography. I'm going to yawn again. I'm just going off screen over here. I'm so sick of this. All right, I had a little trouble sleeping last night, but not that much. Dr. Prusdia and I just took a ride way out to East Mesa and had lunch and stuff, and maybe that's knocking me out. I don't know. It's old man nap time. Let's check. Okay, so academic rigor is just going to demonstrate that you dug into this. You just didn't take the easiest way out, and that's why I've kind of forced you into that academic rigor corner by saying you must use academic, scholarly, peer-reviewed journals. You can't go and bail out and use Forbes.com and encyclopedia.com and New York Times and XYZ.org. You have to stick with so that's going to help you demonstrate. And remember that the peer-reviewed annotated bibliography that you're going to post in the discussion board is just a 30-point exercise, but it leads you into that step 3. You can use all those in your step 3. Just caution you that the formatting is much more strict in your actual step 3. I let you do it in a discussion board because after you post yours, I think you can browse around, look at other people's. You're not copying theirs, but if you see somebody that it resonates with your disciplines, you might want to take a look. Did they find some journals that are intriguing? you know? I mean, 4 is what I'm asking for everybody. If you did more, that's fine, okay? If you do less, you're going to get dinged, okay? Uh, is that helpful? All right. Easter egg number 2. Oh, I'm jumping to this one, but I'll just say it and then I'll get into the topic. Easter egg number 2 is don't send out a survey that is created incorrectly. Does that sound too wordy? I guess it does. Do not send out a survey that was created incorrectly. And what does that mean? It means a lot, and I'll discuss that. After this video, I'm going to start working on your survey video, do-it-yourself survey video. It will be 15 minutes long. That's all they give me. I use an app, a free app that it will, look at my screen. You won't see me, and I'll just talk and show you what I'm doing and watch the mouse and the magic, right? So, but I'm going to give you a little, preamble here to what this is about, these surveys now. In Module 4, you're going to post your survey. I do not want you to delay this. If you can get your survey done this weekend, you're that farther ahead of the game, right? But you want to make sure your survey is accurate. So what I would say, I only have, how many students are in this class now? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 tops. So I could have you all over for dinner. No, 15, that's not bad. This always gets me in trouble, but I think it's worth it. Email me your survey link, and I'll show you how to do that before you post it in the discussion board. Because oftentimes students make kind of a mistake that really jumps out at me, but you just kind of miss, and it could cost you dearly, like Easter eggs number 2 said. So you can send it to me. But here's what I'm going to talk to you about. The big picture is this. The survey is quantitative. What does that mean? Quantitative means to quantify. It's based on quantity. It has a quantifiable answers. That means everyone gets the same choice of answers. There are no open-ended questions. You can't say, how do you feel about sustainability and let them ramble? No such question. The only open-ended question in your survey is age. Age. I want you to have a box, and I'll show you how, and they're going to type their age. I do not want age range. Clearly, I want you to hear this again. Do not use age range. They might suggest a question that says, 18 to 24, 25 to 32, 32. You don't want that. Why? Because there's not enough respondents in a survey like this. We're too short on time. Okay? Let's face it. Okay? What are you going to do? Are you going to say 50 and over as a whole range? Well, that'll really irritate me because those 50-year-old punk kids that I know, you're just bunching me. You're not. Don't have blinders on and think that your age group is the only one that exists. Okay? Everybody should put their age individually. Why? Because what if you have age groups 18 to 24? But guess what? 11 people respond to your survey and they're all 22 or 23. But they're in this 18 to 24 group. What's the point? Just count them. You don't have enough people that you need to break it down. What if you did have 50 and over and you got 17 people that are 50 to 75? It's not right. Let them write it down, okay? So there is no age range. It's an open-ended question only for age. The rest of it quantifiable, it's quantitative. That means everyone has the same choice of answers. And there's another big important thing. There are 0 yes or no questions. Another way to phrase that is there are 0 binary questions, binary answer choices. That means like a yes, no is binary. Okay, even throwing maybe in there, that's still binary in my opinion. That's a weak sauce, okay? There's no yes, no, maybe, no yes, no. There's no either or in any shape or form should be in here. But why? It limits everything. It limits those opinions, perceptions, experiences, right? All right. You don't ask, have you ever been to a Major League Baseball game, yes or no? You ask, if you have been to a Major League Baseball game, how do you rate your experience on a scale of 1 to 10? With 1 being was the worst experience of my life, 10 being is a great experience of my life, right? See how that goes? Your range, it's a range of intensity, emotion. Okay. All right. I mean, how much, do you believe in the science of the vaccine on 1 to 10? 10 being, I trust in it, trust science. One being, it's microchip inside of me, it's devil's work. I mean, have a range. Don't just say yes or no. Okay. Those are important factors. I'll also give you the way to make multiple choice and choose all that apply. The choose all that apply, especially, is a powerful question format because you could ask a number of questions right within that kind of format. How? The question itself would be choose all that apply. And then you could have 20 choices in there. Let's say you were doing it on real estate. Your choices could be: I live with my parents. I live by myself. I live in a condo. I live in an apartment. I live. I own my own home. I like to buy a home in 5 years. I don't want to ever buy my own home. You got all these different choices. You can make a ton of different choices that would represent like 7 different questions because you're choosing what they apply, right? Now, if you were asking people about social media, you have to give the choices. You have to define the parameters here because it's quantitative. So you decide if you're only going to look at Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, what else, Facebook, whatever else is. Are you gonna keep going down? Talk about other things. You have to decide your parameters by the answers, and this is why I'd like you to get those surveys, send it to me. I can more individualize and help you to articulate questions that I think will be really beneficial. And I think you'll enjoy this experience once you start seeing your results roll in, and you're like, "Wow, look at these people! They're crazy." No, you'll just you'll get these answers, so it's fun. But quantitative is important. You can't do qualitative. Why can't you do qualitative? Good question. All right, because qualitative, for example, in this book, there is a load of types of qualitative methodologies you could use. We don't have time for it. Do you really want to do interviews of people? Guess what you're required to do? You are required then to transcribe them. You are required to develop a validity horizon and a meaning field. Does anybody know who that is? What that is? You don't want to have to do that. You can't just, I don't want you to do this haphazardly. There's another word for that. It's a half of a donkey. I don't want you to do it like that. I want this to be a real research experience within the parameters and restrictions and obstacles that we have. So to do that, a quantitative survey of random adults, like I said, it nails it. It nails your requirement for research. This is your data. You're getting it. No one else is getting this snapshot. Okay. So you want to really be considered. Showing rigor would be to develop questions that are good. How many questions? I always get that. Well, let's just say the first question is age, and second question is gender. For gender, I want you to ask male, female, other. Well, you could have fill in the blank there, but let's not go there. Let's just go male, female, prefer not to say, whatever. Okay, I want to respect non-binary, again, non-binary genders. I think the last count was maybe 26 identifiable non-binary genders. Let's just go with that. Okay, and then you've got your age that you fill in the blank. So now you got 2 questions right there. Now, depending on how you format this, remember I said a choose all that apply could include 5 different questions. You don't even see them. But there should probably be 10 to 12 at least. I don't want you to go overboard. 20 is kind of a lot. Okay. But 10 to 15, 12 to 15, 12 to 15, counting the two, age and gender, that's a nice sweet spot in there. Especially, if you have choose all that apply, it covers a couple of them. I think it's fun but really sit back and think about your topic. Think about questions that you could ask people about it. Don't give it short shrift. Okay? It's exciting to think about. Think about Black Lives Matter. Think of all the opinions you've heard and seen you could consider. Ask people about these things. All right? Really try to dig in. Yes, you could ask people their income. Now you can put an income range. You could do that, right? But again, don't be short shrift. Don't just end it. Like, for example, if you're doing student debt, of course, you're probably going to do a range of student debt people are in. You don't want to leave that blank. Then you could say less than 10,000, 10 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60. And then somebody will go 80, and that's it. Stop. You know what mine is? $235,000. Okay, I'll wait for people to pick up their jaws off the floor. But I got a sweet deal. That is that I teach at university, public university. I'm in the loan forgiveness program. I make payments based on my income for 10 years, and then that's it. Okay. So some students I noticed they stopped at 50. I'm like, okay, I'm 50 and over, but I'm 235,000. Reach a little bit. Consider extremes that you may not be aware of. Okay. We're struggling out here, people. No, we're not. I'm living a dream. I'll be honest with you. Greatest decision of my life is going to school at 52. Okay, because I got plans. All right. So, by the way, my heart thing went okay. He went in here with catheterization all the way to here, and then he looked at my arteries, and one of them was okay. One of them was 30 to 40, and one of them was 60 to 70 in his opinion. He did not recommend, he did not put any stents in. He said that I need to continue to aggressively manage my diabetes, or in my case, start aggressively managing my diabetes, take my statin, go back to exercising like I always did. I used to do a lot of cardio, but I've stopped COVID, but I'm back into it last month or so, and then go back and see him in 3 months, self-monitor. Okay, so I'm just very happy to report that because it certainly weighed on me. Facing your own mortality when you start getting older is sucks, man. It just sucks. Okay, so the survey then is okay. Where's my notes? Okay, so you have the first two Easter eggs. Now I'm going to give 8 points for this video package. 8 points, not 5. So the third Easter egg will be in the video, okay, the survey video, which I'm going to start working on shortly. So if you want the points for this 8, the last week, I got hiccups. I tell you, I got issues. The last Easter egg is in the survey video, okay? Let me know you got questions, comments, concerns. Some of you are still working on step 2. That's fine. Some of you are still redoing step 2. That's fine. I got no problem with that. I like being able to be honest with students in their writing, but let them do it again. In some cases, let them do it again and again, especially if you want to, okay? If you don't want to do it again, let me know, and I'll probably jack up your score a little bit because you're going to stick with 60 then or whatever, But overall, I've been really pleased with your development here. Looking forward to those discussion boards. People are falling behind a little bit. Try not to, because, we got quiz 4, you got step 3, and then your survey link, that's going to be due. Wow. That's going to be due July 28th, a week from yesterday. That makes sense. We're in module 4. Wow, that's module 5 already, right? Yikes. I'm right? I'm right. Yeah, 4.2. Okay, 23 minutes. That's quite enough time because I'm going to do that 15-minute do-it-yourself video. Should see that post, probably within the hour, I guess, because I got to upload this one, then I got to send it out, make sure it's done, then I can start the other one. Okay. Forks up. People probably think I'm going to give them the finger or something. Forks up. Peace.